Hi, and congratulations on your 2019 Kicks SR. This is an absolutely amazing vehicle. I love the way it drives. The gas mileage is absolutely unbelievable, and the features in this are crazy for what you get for the price that you're going to pay for this. I know that you're going to love this. You're going to have a ton of fun driving it. Let's do a review of the features that you've got with it to make sure that you're good and comfortable with what you've got. Here in the dash, we've got a beautiful infotainment system. This is a floating display with a 7-inch touchscreen display. It's very neatly laid out, but easy to use. Right now, we're on the menu, the main home menu. As we can see here, I can see what's going on with my audio. I can add widgets if I want them around for different options, simply by going into the settings and then customizing my home menu. My connections is down here. I've got info, audio. We're gonna have a look at connections because this is where you're gonna go. I can go in through settings or through the connections. And this is where I add a phone. I simply have to do the add new and away I go. From there, I'm gonna go into the settings on my phone, go into Bluetooth. I'm looking for My Kicks. If you're on an Apple phone, you just simply add it. If you're on an Android phone and you have a lock on your screen, you're going to need to go into the settings and into the lock screen settings. Then you're looking for Smart Lock and you want to add a trusted device and you're going to add My Kicks. If you don't do this, the moment your phone locks, you're going to disconnect from the vehicle itself. Also from here, when I get home, I'm going to want to connect to my home Wi-Fi. And that way, my vehicle will automatically pull in any system software updates that are available. I won't need to go into here, although if I want to force it, I can go in. It is set for auto. So lots of options there. If I go to my audio, I can see I've got satellite radio, which is free for the first 3 months, AM, FM, Bluetooth, USB. Now if I hit my source button up here, I've got AM, FM, satellite, USB, Bluetooth, auxiliary, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto are options that I have on this vehicle. I can go to any one of them at any point and I can stream music how I want to stream. Now the beauty of the music in this vehicle is it is a Bose premium sound system. So we're going to go into our settings here and sound. Now I've got this one adjusted a little bit. My bass and treble are up, so you get a really nice sound quality. The speed sensitivity is up, but I want to go into personal space. With this, I can either use the touch screen or I can use the scroll dial over here. All the way down has my music focused primarily up the front. If I start turning it this way to the right clockwise until I get all the way here, I now have full surround sound because this Bose premium sound system is built right into the driver's headrest. The sound quality is absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to back out of here, back to our sound system. Now if I put us in reverse, I see my backup camera. Now it's a bit bright at the moment. There we go. I have a beautiful backup camera. It actually looks brighter out than what it really is. And I've got distance markers. Now I've got green, yellow, and red hash marks. As long as I keep whatever's behind me above the red hash marks, I have room to safely open my hatch. If I have to get in really tight, knowing I'm not going to open my hatch, my bumper is across the bottom of my screen. And just when it looks like my bumper is touching whatever's behind me, I've still got about 3 inches worth of space. Now if I move my steering wheel, I also have predictive lines that show where I'm going to turn. These lines are extremely accurate. They will give you a really good indication of where you're going so that you can line up pretty good. Now if we notice on this side, I've also got a 360-degree bird's eye view around the vehicle. No, there's no satellite tracking you and there's no drone flying overhead. We use the backup camera for down here. In the front grille, we've got a camera up here. And for your side view, underneath your side mirrors is cameras. They stitched the 4 of those cameras together to give you that 360-degree bird's eye view around the vehicle. Down below here, we have a digital climate control. So right now I've got it set for 20 degrees and I've got it set on auto. So that means it's automatically going to determine where my airflow is and how high my fan speed is. Now, if it was colder out or warmer and it needed to get to that temperature quickly, the fan would dial up all on its own, and as I get closer to that temperature inside the vehicle, that fan starts to dial back all on its own. If I want to adjust these manually, I can adjust my fan speed with the dial over here, and as I do that, I notice auto turns off. I can also adjust where my airflow is going to go using this button. So just in the front floor, just the floor and windshield, and back to the front. If I want just the windshield, it's got its own button here. I'm going to put us back on auto. My rear defrost also activates my heated side mirrors. This is our recycled air button. With the AC on, I do want it on recycled air, but I'm going to turn my AC off at the moment. My heated seats are here on either side. We've got high, low, and off. Now down below here, I've got an auxiliary port, a USB port, and a 12-volt power port. With my USB port here, it will charge any device that you plug in. If you plug in an Apple phone, it's instantly going to launch Apple CarPlay. If you plug an Android phone in, if you want Android Auto to launch, you have to make sure that you have first downloaded the Android Auto app. It is a free download. Once you've done that, anytime that you connect your Android phone, it will launch Android Auto phone up here as well. Now, some of my earlier videos have given great demonstrations on how to work Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The biggest thing that a lot of people use it for is the maps on their phone. If you've ever used your phone to navigate anywhere, as soon as you connect through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, it will launch up here. You can launch the map from your phone right onto the screen. It'll show you your directions, and it will talk to you through your Bose premium sound system to give you those directions all at the same time. Down here between the seats, we do have two more USB ports. These are strictly for charging. They will not interact with the vehicle, but it gives anybody in the vehicle access to be able to charge a device. Up here on the right side of our steering wheel, we have our Bluetooth hands-free. This button here will answer a call or hang up a call. My button here will allow me to make an outbound call, or depending on the type of phone that I have, I can access the phone. For example, pressing and holding here for 2 seconds will allow me to access Siri on an Apple phone. This will turn on my cruise control, as I see right up the top here. From there, I can set the speed, resume, cancel, increase, decrease. It's pretty standard for cruise. On the left side of my wheel, I have my volume controls for my radio. My two buttons down here are going to go through my presets on my radio. So if I look over at my radio and I tap that left set of arrows, I can see I'm going through presets. Now if I tap the right set, I'm going the other way. This is a back button that's going to pertain to these buttons here, and that's for our driver assist display. So right now, my driver assist display gives me a digital tachometer with distance to empty on my gas tank. If I hit my right arrow, I get over and I see all my radio info. Now down the very bottom, it tells me OK is the source. So if I press the OK button on my steering wheel while I'm on this screen, it changes the source of my audio over to Bluetooth, auxiliary, AM, FM, back to satellite radio. So utilizing this screen, I can control everything to do with my audio right with the touch of a thumb. If I move to the right screen again, I see some info here about my vehicle. I'm going to tap down. I am running kind of high on my average fuel economy. I'm going to show you why in just a second. I'm personally driving one of these as a demo currently, and I can tell you that my average is sitting at 7.3. On the highway, I'm getting between 5.9 and 6.3, and in the city, I'm seeing between 7.7 and 8. So as I move to the next screen to the right, I'm in the middle of the screen at the moment, as indicated by the dots here on the left. This screen shows me my tire pressure. Once I start driving, each of those is going to populate individually with the exact pressure of each wheel. If I get a low tire, it's going to pop up and tell me low tire pressure, and it's going to tell me exactly which tire is low and what the exact pressure is. From there, when I go to put air in the tire, I simply go to the tire it told me needed air and start putting air in. Once it gets to the right pressure, the horn is going to beep to tell me to stop. If for some reason I don't stop or I went to the wrong tire, when I hit the upper limit, the horn will beep 3 times in a row. Once this happens, please stop putting air in your tire, otherwise you're going to risk ruining your tire. If you do get to the point that you hit the upper limit, please do it to the other 3 tires as well to ensure that you get even tread wear across all 4 tires. If I go down a screen, I see my coolant temperature. Next screen down is going to show me what's going on with the chassis of the vehicle. So your vehicle has chassis control and active trace, and as you take a hard turn or hit a hard bump, it's going to show you where on the vehicle it's reacting to that. Back up at the top, I see I have a digital speedometer as well as what's going on with my radio. Now, this is our drive computer. This shows me what's going on. So I mentioned that the average fuel economy is running kind of high. We're at 11.4 liters per 100 kilometers, but that's because we've only gone 278 kilometers in 14 hours and 40 minutes. So I'm going to reset this simply by pressing the OK button here on the steering wheel. And I'm going to reset all and say yes. So now when I hit the back button here, everything's been reset. And I'm going to put us back up on the digital speedometer. Our final screen over to the right is our driver settings. I do encourage you to play with these. Don't worry about messing anything up. We've got a factory reset button at the very bottom to prevent that. Now over here we see a few different options. Your vehicle is equipped with automatic emergency braking and forward collision warning in the front. If the vehicle in front of you suddenly piles on the brakes and you're catching up to them really quick, you're closing that gap in a hurry, inside the vehicle it's going to beep at you and the gas pedal is going to push back against your foot a little bit. Once that happens, if you do not react fast enough, the beeping will get louder and faster, and if necessary, it will start to apply the brakes for you. It will also give you a visual cue right up in this little block here, but you're going to be more concerned with what's going on around you. You're also equipped with blind spot indicators on each side of the vehicle. The LED indicator on each side, depending on which side the vehicle is in your blind spot, as soon as it gets in there, the indicator on that side of the vehicle is going to light up and stay lit up a dull orange. Now, let's say, for example, our driver's side indicator is lit up and I signal to go left. My indicator is going to start flashing and it is going to beep 2 or 3 times inside the kicks just to let me know I do have a vehicle in my blind spot. It's also going to give me a visual cue down here, but again, you're going to be more concerned with what's going on around you than you are on the little screen down below here. Finally, you do have rear cross traffic detection. The way that's going to work is if you're backing out of a parking spot and there's movement coming towards you from within 2 car lengths on either side of you, inside the vehicle it's going to beep at you, and whichever side the movement's coming from, your blind spot indicator on that side of the vehicle is going to be flashing to let you know, have a look over your shoulder, you got something coming from behind you from that direction. Your vehicle is equipped with remote start. So on our key fob, we've got a panic button, we've got unlock and lock. And to work the remote start, I'm going to hit the lock and then hold the top button for 5 seconds. This is going to remote start your kicks from up to 200 feet away. From there, it's going to run for up to 10 minutes. If you're running behind and you need to extend it, simply do the same thing. Hit the lock and hold the top button for 5 seconds. So if it's been running for about 8 minutes and you know that you're going to be a few more minutes, and you do that, it's now going to run to the 18-minute mark. Should you change your mind and decide that you're not going anywhere, simply press the top button for 2 seconds and it will turn it back off. Now, because it's a key fob, the battery inside is eventually going to die. They typically last 2 to 4 years. Once this starts happening, your very first indication is you're going to hop in, and up here it's going to tell you incorrect key ID when you go to start the vehicle. Don't panic, let the message go away, try it again, it should start no problem. If you do hit the point that it's just not working, what you're going to do is you're going to take your key fob, you're with your foot on the brake, you're going to put the Nissan emblem directly against the start button and use that to push your start button in. That will start your vehicle. At that point, it's time to go get a new battery. If your key fob is completely dead, on the back there's a little switch, there is a key for the driver's side door. From there you can start it as we just discussed. Now, to change your battery, pop the key out. You're going to want to get something flat into one of these 2 little spots on the side and give it a twist. That'll give you access to your battery. The number on the battery is your battery size, and the battery looks like a watch battery, just a little bit bigger. Very easy to change, or you can just take it straight to the dealership and they'll do it themselves. Congratulations again on your 2019 Nissan Kicks SR. I hope this has been a big help in refreshing your memory on the vehicle that you just bought and all the features that come with it. It's a really great vehicle, a lot of fun to drive, handles really nice, the fuel economy is absolutely amazing, and the sound system in it is phenomenal. I hope you're enjoying your new vehicle. If you still have any questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch. You can call, text, email, or stop in O'Regan's Nissan on Baker Drive and ask for myself or any of my colleagues if I'm not around. I look forward to dealing with you again when it's time for your next vehicle. I hope you've had a great experience with this, and anytime that you're in for your regular maintenance, I'll either stop over and say hello, or you can do the same thing.